identify the trigonometric functions in this way. Suppose that we have an angle in standard position where the terminal side lies on point P with the coordinates x and y. Now let us define the following, wherein we will be using this formula, which is the Pythagorean formula, in order to identify the diagonal of the triangle. So in our discussion, we will identify the 6 trigonometric functions using the length of the sides of the triangle in an angle in standard position. And we can define the following. Sine is the ratio of the x over r, while y over r, and y is your vertical axis, and r is your diagonal side. While cosine is the ratio of your x over r, where x is your vertical or horizontal axis, and r is your diagonal. And the tangent is defined as the ratio of your y over x, where y is your vertical axis and x is the horizontal axis. These are the basic trigonometric functions. The 3 remaining trigonometric functions are just the reciprocal of the 3 basic. R is the diagonal of the triangle, or also known as the hypotenuse. We can define the reciprocal of sine and cosecant as r over y. So from sine, which is y over r, we just take the reciprocal, and that will be already the cosecant, which is r over y. While the reciprocal of cosine is r over x. And what do you call that? Secant. And secant is defined as r over x. And lastly, the reciprocal tangent is cotangent, and that is defined as y over x. Now, since we are taking the terminal side of an angle, we will also consider the location of the terminal side. Always remember that your x and y, or your horizontal and vertical axis, will change the sign. It can be negative or positive, depending on the location of your terminal side. But your r is always positive, or the diagonal side is always positive. Only your x and y can be negative or positive, okay, depending on the location. Now let us consider this example. Suppose that the terminal side of the angle in standard position is located at -3 and -4. If we will illustrate it on our Cartesian plane, we can say that point P is located at quadrant 3, because x is negative and y is also negative. Let's say that this is your point. R is your diagonal, or your hypotenuse. Now suppose this is your given, this is point B, located at -3, -4. From the origin, we will draw a line going to point P. And we can say that this is our theta, or this is the given angle. Last time, we already discussed how to determine the reference angle. And from the illustration, we can say that this side is our reference angle. Okay? So we can draw a triangle from this point up to this point. From the illustration, we can say that x is -3, while y is also -4. Before identifying the 6 trigonometric functions, we need to identify the value of r. Okay? So before r, we can use the formula, which is the square root of x squared plus y squared. You are already given x, which is negative 3. So we take the square of negative 3 plus the square of negative 4. Taking the squares of each value, we have the square root of 9 plus 16. This is square root of 25. So that r is 5. Okay? We have x, which is negative 3, y is negative 4, and r is positive 5. Since we already have now all the values that we need, we can now identify the 6 trigonometric functions. Let's start with sine theta. Earlier, we have defined that sine theta is the ratio of y over r. So you will just substitute the values. Y is negative 4 over r, which is 5. So, sine theta is negative 4 over 5. While cosine theta is defined as the ratio of x over r. Our x is negative 3 and r is positive 5. So cosine is negative 3 over 5. While tangent is the ratio of your y over x. Y is negative 4 and x is negative 3. Since our numerator and our denominator are both negative, and if we will perform the operation negative divided by negative, we can have it as positive 4 over 3. Okay? So our tangent should be positive 4 over 3. Okay? So please be careful with the sign, especially if you are having a fraction which is negative or positive. Whenever your answer is in fraction, always express it in lowest term. Or if your answer is in radical form, rationalize your final answer. Okay? Now let's take the reciprocal. The reciprocal of sine is cosecant. So we'll just take the reciprocal of sine, and we have negative 5 over 4. While the reciprocal of cosine is secant, and that is negative 5 over 3. And lastly, the reciprocal of tangent is cotangent, and that is 3 over 4, which is also positive. Okay? So this is just how we identify the 6 trigonometric functions. First, you need to identify the values of your x, y, and r. And then you'll just substitute the values of x, y, and r from our definition. Any question? Okay? Let's try one more. Now let us consider this. Suppose we have an angle standard position and the angle lies on quadrant 4. And you are already given one trigonometric function which is sine, negative 5 over 30. Okay, so we just need to identify the remaining 5. But let us illustrate the given. According to the given, your theta lies in quadrant 4. So your terminal side is on quadrant 4. Okay? Number 2. So we can use this as our theta, which is the reference angle. Now let us draw a triangle here with respect to the x-axis. Now we are given sine theta, which is negative 5 over 13. And earlier we defined sine as y over r. I have mentioned also earlier that the sign of r must be always positive. So in this fraction, we can say that y is negative 5 and R is positive